There, this is a quick little tutorial video to show you how to enter some of your products into your online store. For this demonstration, we are going to be using the thebrandguy.ca website and showing how to enter some of the products for that one. Most of this will apply to several different of our clients that are using the e-commerce WooCommerce plugin for their current website that they work with us. But if you've got any specifics that you need to know beyond this one, do give us a call or send us an email to Greg at theimagestop.com, and we'll help you with that. So we're going to start with this one first, as mentioned. As I said, most of this will apply to you as any e-commerce user, but this one is specific to the Designer Wallpaper website. Alright, so first we're going to start with the login screen. As you can see, we've got the passwords all blocked out and everything like that. That's because, of course, this is a private thing. We don't want to show this to everybody. So the first things first is to log in with the username and password that you've been given for your website. And we're just going to jump in and do that right now. Click there, it will go to the site. Now in some of our earlier trials, just checking this, we did notice that this website is loading a little bit slow today, so we apologize for that. On a note, just so you're aware that slow loading is not necessarily because of the website build or the layout or the extra plugins or anything like that. It can actually be as a result of the hosting itself, or your ISP, being however you have internet access through wherever your location you're at. In this case today, we do believe, just from our investigations and checking other sites, that it is a little bit more of a heavy load and issue on the hosting side. Okay, and so for the purposes of this illustration, first thing we're going to do is we're going to cover the fact that there's plugins that are actually causing some I guess conflict with the order entry or with the product entry. So I'm going to go over here to plugins. We're going to show you what to do. In this case, it's one simple plugin. All we have to do is deactivate that plugin. And it's this one here, the Calculator Pro one. We're going to deactivate that. Now that we've deactivated it, it is going to be not interfere with the entry of the products. All we have to do is when we're done, remember to go back in and activate it again, and then the site will function properly as it's supposed to. Pretty simple little thing to do. One thing that we'll add to this is when you are updating your website and adding products, especially if you're doing multiple products, we do advise that you go into your website, go into your settings here, go to the Coming Soon page, click on that, and make sure that you have actually set your website to being in maintenance mode. Right here, maintenance mode. Okay, scroll down, change and say we are currently performing scheduled maintenance. Be back shortly. Right there, and we'll say here there we go. Whoops, my apologies. There we go. So that just makes it so that people understand that the site isn't just disappeared and it does show up with a little thing. What I'm going through here is the media library just to find the actual company logo. Notice there's a lot of wallpapers added in this in here. Yeah, that's what they do, is they sell wallpapers. You're going to have a lot of stuff in here. That's a good thing, by the way. One thing to take note is that when you're going through and adding all your products, if you're going to have a store with a lot of products, be sure you're looking at some good sized space in your hosting. That's going to be key on all your products being able to be entered, first of all, and not slowing your site down, as we mentioned just a little bit ago. It's going to cost you a little more, but in the end, it's going to be much more beneficial, and you're going to have a much more smooth running website, and hopefully that's going to help stimulate sales a lot more as well. There are a lot of products in here, so it's taking a bit, isn't it? Okay, that was the old logo there. Don't worry about that. We should almost be there. This is funny. And there we are. So I'm just going to kind of take that one right in there. I'm going to pop that into place, and there it is. And we will save these changes. Once the changes have been saved, you can kind of go to here, click this button. It's going to open it up in a new window, and you'll get a chance to see what that whole thing looks like. So wallpaper.ca, currently performing scheduled maintenance. Be back shortly. Cool. And there's nothing wrong with putting that up while you are getting new products put into place. Okay, let's move on here. So I'm just going to do a quick overview of the front main screen as you log in. You notice the coming soon mode in the top right there in red. That's there because the site is under construction right now, and as a result we do not want clients to go in and see the site as it currently appears because it's not ready for use yet. Hence why you have in the WooCommerce status window here 0 sales and 0 orders and so on and so forth. You notice in the top right there also there's a screen options. I'm going to click that and open that up. And you look there, there's different things that you can open up to either declutter or add information onto your dashboard window when you log in. I'm going to click here the Add a Glance, for instance, and that's immediately going to add a little panel here that says recently we have 3 posts, 17 pages. That's kind of cool. Now, I don't want that on here, but that's something that we can either add or take away at any given time. WooCommerce status, bang, gone, come back again. Just something to make your clutter a little easier. And if you don't like some of the things there or don't need them, get rid of them. Okay, moving right along, let's go right to the products. Over here on the left-hand side, you will see an assortment of different tabs here. The WooCommerce one will be there, and right below that is products. We're going to check out and take a look at all the products that are there currently. There have been several that have been added here. Some are completed, some are not. So the ones that have been completed here on this particular site that don't actually have, and you notice here the price here in this in the pricing column. If there's nothing there, that means that the products have not been completed as far as being entered yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the extreme right. I'm going to click that double arrow, and that's going to take us to the very, very last, or in this case, last in the list, but the very first products that were entered already, so we can see there. You notice here, you can tell that they're completed because we have an assortment of the name here, of course. We have the price. We have the category that particular pattern falls into. We have the tags, which covers a lot of the different keywords and things that people would look for when looking for this. And we've been covering that in a couple ways here during this tutorial. And that's how you know that these ones have been completed. Without the price there is no way for that to show up for people to purchase. And obviously a very essential thing. So I'm just going to kind of scroll down to the very bottom and go to the very first product that was ever entered here. That was entered, look at that, January 18th of this year. Okay, so I'm going to click Edit. The reason I'm doing the edit here is we're going to have a look at the elements and the ways that this actually looks and operates, so you can see a comparison of the back end and the front end of things. Okay, before we move on here to this part, up at the top it says View Product. I'm going to open that in a new tab. Reason being is then I can switch back and forth so we can actually do a comparison of what is being shown on the site and what is being entered in the back end, which is what we're looking at right now. So over to the site, this is the actual page that shows this. You'll see the title here, the ARIS there, number 7007. That is the actual code that is found and is the name for this particular product or this particular pattern. You see the price there at $319 for wall covering, 100% thing, care code wipe. That's some of the information, the basic details that were offered there. You notice it has different options. I love that there. We'll show you how to do that, don't worry. This here, the add to cart and the numbers and stuff there, that is an automatic thing that is sent once the product is actually fully entered. So you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to scroll down here, you're going to see different colors and everything. Those match the different variations that we have here. The gold and white, which is the main one. The dark gray and white, that's the second one there. Light gray and white, and beige and white. Let's just click on one of those and see what happens. So if we click on the beige and white, it turns. We also have a zoom feature, which is kind of cool if you go over there. Nice thing. The way the zoom feature works, though, is that the original image has to be bigger than this area. If it's not, the zoom feature will look like it doesn't do anything. Nothing to worry about. It's just a matter of the actual images that you start with. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here. Here's where you get your full description, where it shows. It gives you your pattern. It gives you your row width, how the vertical pattern repeat, everything that is necessary or needed for people who are figuring out what it is that they require for their wallpapers. Let's scroll back to the top here so we can go back through here. And just really quick to the right-hand side, you'll see that there is a thing for product search there. That's going to be in the main site. Shop the categories here. We'll talk about those categories as we're doing the entry of the demo one here. And there's also the name and price of recently viewed products, because that's one we've been recently looked at. Now this one here, the Calc ID 2880, that is a short code for the online calculator that we have installed to help people calculate how many roles they need. This is turned off right now for one reason, and then we'll show you that too in the back end. The reasoning is that the script in that makes that calculator work was interfering with us being able to edit some of the information on the product page. This can happen especially when you're talking e-commerce websites, because you have a lot of plugins and a lot of different apps, if you will, that are doing a lot of different tasks. As a result, sometimes those tasks can interfere with each other a little bit. We found that when we were doing the demo for ourselves before we did this recording, and we thought that would be a very good way of showing and teaching how to overcome some of those things in the back end. So we'll do that here as well. Moving right along, we're going to go back to this original back end part of the ARIS 7007. All right. So first of all, right in the very top, that is your that's where you put your name or your title. I'm going to show you that with a new product. So I'm going to click new, Add New here, but I'm going to open it in a new tab. So again, we're going to work a little bit differently on this one, so that you see A, a completed one, B, the completed one, what it looks like, and C, how to enter everything. So here we go, product name. It comes right up there. I'm going to say test wallpaper, and the product number is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now let's go back to the other one as a comparison. See here, it's got a specific layout for it. Now we encourage you to do this actually the way we're doing it, and that is copy, or copy this way. Copy the coding and stuff there, or the text. Go to that other page that you're using and paste. Then we have the same layout. That's going to keep the site very consistent when people look and they see the descriptions, and let's go show you that. Remember the descriptions here. So we got the pattern, roll width, vertical pattern, repeat, match type, country of origin, and keywords. Keywords are essential here. We'll talk about that here too. Scroll down. There we go. In the description, and you notice we have it bold and then regular, bold and then regular. It's a nice visual that way. This is all part of the branding of your website, and to make it a nice user experience too. We don't want to change that. If we get rid of all the boldness, for instance, it's just going to look very, very thin, light, not hard to see. And if we make it all bold, it's just kind of in your face like you're yelling, and you don't want that. So back to the one that we were just changing of the test one. So we'll go back here, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our pattern width, our pattern number. Let's change the width. We're going to change that to 22 for no particular reason here. Pattern repeat. We'll go 22 again. Match type. Let's leave it straight match. That's okay. Country of origin. Canada. That's because I'm creating this and it's just me. Price noted per. Let's make it a single roll. Why? That's going to be relevant depending on what it is that you're selling. So if you're not doing wallpaper, for instance, and you're selling other items, this is a way to understand how those items, how you can give some of the details to your clients before that, they order something and get something that they weren't expecting. The more details, the better, so the client or the customer knows what they're getting, okay, and they feel comfortable with the process. Keywords. We enter this here because in a search on a WordPress site, the search is going to go through. It's going to go through the title, so at the top of the bed, or the product name, or whatever. It's going to go through. Scroll down here and show you some stuff. Product tags, which we're going to show you and enter some stuff in a bit. And right there in the content, it's going to go through the text and the content. We put those keywords there, so if somebody searches for gold because they want to find a gold pattern, that will work. You know what? I'm going to add here and go yellow, because maybe gold and yellow are two that they synonymous. They may not think that the goldy color is, they may call it yellow. So it's one thing to consider. So consider what your clients would be actually looking for. Okay, go back to the one that's already entered. I'm going to actually add that one here too, yellow, and scroll down here to the one that we've already had entered and show you the next steps. Okay, over here on the extreme right hand side, we have the product categories section. I'm going to scroll down on the one that we're entering as a test now and see those categories are there as well. Now, the way the categories have been set up, mostly to start with, is by the name of the actual product, okay, or the supplier, if you will. Going to the one that was already entered, this is the Eris 7007. We go through the product categories. It has been labeled as Eris. Okay, done. That's awesome. That makes it easy for people to look through different categories and say, okay, that's what we want to look for. Now, I notice that in this particular e-commerce layout here for this wallpaper site, there have been several ones: 3D wallpaper, animal print, architecture, and that's great. We can use those here. So in this case, if you have different categories that you want yours to go into, let's say it is 3D animals that are showing up in your print, you can do it this way, and you can add those in there so that when people and clients are doing searches through categories, they can find it there. Or, even better yet, so you can do multiple categories at this point. So there's your 3D, there's your animal, and let's say it's actually with Chatsworth. Boom, we can do that, and then it's all set. Okay, I'm not going to save this way because this is the previous one that we entered. However, let's go over to the new one, and we can pick multiple. So we're going to pick Woodbine because at the bottom, something to do 3D, as I said, and not animal print. We'll do black and white. Good. So we've got our category set. Say there isn't a category for the one you want. Click there, type in your category. I'm going to put linen. I'll show you why in a sec. Add new category. That will then be popping up into here once it goes through the system, which it has now. We go down to find, up to the bottom, up to the top, sorry. Linen gets put in there because it was the one that we just entered. So bang. Now our primary one has been set at Woodbine. Change it. I want it to be linen instead. No big deal. All right, so that's our category settings. Go back to the page that was already preset. Here we go. We're going to look at the product data. You notice this is set as a variable product. Variable product means simply that you have different variations of that same thing. So in this case, we have, if you look down the bottom right here, the product image, it's got different colors that are this particular pattern comes in. So it's variable. It's got different things. Okay, so we're going to go to the one that we're testing entering. It's not a simple product in that it's not just one product, one color, and it could have multiple colors. If it's simple, no problem, we can leave it that way. So how do we get those actual patterns? Well, in this case, what we would have to do is we're going to have to find pictures and stuff and items we know where our products are. So in this case, I'm going to go to, I'm going to download a picture to use as a sample in this demo. So I'm going to go to another website. Here it is right here. It's Bouclair. This is their carriage house wallpaper double roll. I'm going to use that. I'm going to right click here and I'm going to save this image and I'm going to put it in the, there we go, patterns, and I'm going to call this test 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to save that in that folder. Okay, so it's now saved in the folder. You saw a little download just happen there. If there were variations, we would actually look at that too. You know what? For the sake of this demo, let's do a variation for you. All I'm doing here is actually I'm going to open up that pattern and show you something kind of cool. So here we go. We're going to open this pattern up, and I'm going to do a variation of this and just make it darker for fun. So it's a different version for fun. Okay. I'm going to save that as 1, 2, 3, 4 dark. Okay. Now that's just me playing with this. In this particular instance, you would either use the pictures you already have, or you would be downloading the ones that you have selected to use in your new entries. So here we are. We're back at our new entry, and we're going to just go right through this the way that you would need to do it. So it's not a simple product. We're going to have variations in that we have a light version and a dark version, like you just saw. I'm going to click this. I'm going to change this. It's going to be a variable product. Bang, done. It's taxable, yes. Tax class, it's our standard. We already have that preset in the back end. You don't have to worry about that. Inventory, we don't have any SKUs or anything in this case. If you do, you can enter your SKUs here. Good thing, way of you managing your inventory if you like. Here, sold individually, enable this to only allow one of these items to be bought in a single order. In this case, no, but you can do that. That's an option. Shipping. If shipping classes are set up, great. In this particular instance, this client has chosen to include shipping in their pricing, so that is irrelevant. That's actually a very, very good and easy way to establish your shipping and stuff. It can get really complex in the back end if you don't. Linked products, in this case, upsells, cross-sells, thing you want to do hey, maybe you should try this with that, you can add that here. So you can start to search for some of the products you've already entered. Really cool way of doing it. In this case, we're not going to be doing that because we don't have any upsells on this, but I'm going to go to the attributes. The attributes are going to give us the differences in those products. In this case, we don't have a drop-down list because we don't have any preset attributes because there's such a variation between the different products all the time. You can do that and set out your attributes. Over here on the left-hand side, in the very extreme left, you'll see an attribute setting here. You can set attributes that repeat often in your products right over here. Such as if you're selling t-shirts and they come in small, medium, large, extra large, you can set that as your custom attributes, and that will then show it up in your drop down, and you can choose that automatically each time. In this case, we don't have that, so I'm just going to click Add. Here we go. It's going to pop up a thing where we can actually give us the different attributes. Now let me show you how that looks in the end, so we're not just entering random text here. Back to the one that's pre-entered. I'm going to go down to the attributes for this one. Oh, sorry. Variations, and I'll show you why. Okay, the variation in this one, okay, is it's going to show us all the different ones. And it says no default, but it's the geometric trellis. Okay, I'm going to show you the sample here. When we go up to here, it says right there, geometric trellis, and then choose an option. The option are your variables. The geometric trellis is the name of your variables. Oops, wrong one. So here we go. The name. In this case, it's our test wallpaper 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to call this the test 1, 2, 3, 4. Watch my spelling there, my caps lock. There we go. And now we put your differences. We're going to say light and dark. The straight line here is what separates the different variables. Okay? We need that selected so that they will show up as different ones when we do our variations and things. So you notice here, then we have 2 check marks. We want that to be visible on the product page so that people can select one or the other. And we want to use it for the variations. Here's why we use the variations, okay? Let's save this, and then we're going to go to the variation step. Again, a little bit slow on the server today. That's okay, because for the sake of this demo here, it's part of the reality. Okay. It's all saved now. I'm going to go to variations. Okay, right here on the left side, I'm going to click variations. Now it's going to just come up and it's going to say, hey, add variation. We're going to create variations from all the attributes, in this case, the light and dark, and go. It always warns and says, hey, it's going to do this from everything. If you have many variations, such as, let's go back to the t-shirt explanation, white, gray, and black, and then small, medium, large, and extra large of each one. As soon as you click OK on this, it's going to create a variation for the small white, the medium white, the large white, the extra large white, then the small gray, and so on and so forth. So it creates a variation for every single one. All right. Now in this case, we only have the 2, so it makes it a little easier. But watch this. So now we have the dark and light. Well, let's say we want to have the light be the most prominent. We can move that up to the top first of all. Now it just depends, it's a way of encouraging sales to one or the other. And just the arrow here, we're going to click that. This gives us the ability, and here's where we have some fun, okay, to create all the different details for each individual variation of this product. In this case, we're going to say that the light ones are worth $50 each. Okay, don't need to put the sign here. If we do that, it comes up with the warning. Okay. And let's say we want to have a sale price. Hey, you can do that, and you can actually put in your sale price of $45. And look at this. You can set a start and end date as well. Kind of cool. I'm not going to do that in this case, but it's kind of cool you can do that. Okay. Moving right along here. So we've got this. First of all, it's enabled the variation is. If it's downloadable or just a virtual product, we can put that there. In this case, no, it is an actual product, so we're not going to click that. We're not going to worry about it being in stock, out of stock in this case, because this client is able to have stock of any of these via the order system that they have. Moving down, if weight is an issue or something that needs to be put in here, do so. Your length, width, height, also if that's necessary. In this case, it is not something we're worried about. Shipping class, again, in this case, we talked about that previously. There is no shipping because it's included in the pricing. Oops, I'm going to... looks like my phone just got backed up on my Wow, didn't intend that. Okay, sorry about that. Tax class, again, that's already been preset. And here's our description area. So I'm going to go over to our previously entered one, quick, and down into the variations here, and look at the gold white one here. Scroll down, nothing set. Well, what we've done in the descriptions for this one is given the specific color according to the details that the client gave us previously. Reason being that they had is that they can then the client can use that, and they can use that for their ordering too, because this comes through in the order process. So we're going to go down here and say light number 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, and this helps for the organizational process and the administrative side for the client, so that when they get this information, they know which pattern is being talked about easier and quicker. Now moving back to the top here, there's this kind of filler. It says upload an image when you mouse over it. I'm going to click that. I'm going to go to upload files here in the top left. I'm going to click select file. I'm now going to go to that patterns folder and look at that. Here's that light one we did. I'm going to open that. It's going to upload the whole file to it for us there. Again, this could take just a moment depending on your server, and that's okay. That's the one we want. Look at the size of this over here on the right hand side. It says 108 kilobytes. That's awesome. Good sizing right there. If you enter, I should say, any or upload any pictures that get to 1 megabyte or more, that picture is way too big. Okay, straight up, not one you want to go to. So what I suggest you do is do a resize of that. If you have any issues with that, there's a website you can go to called imagesize.org. Let's show you that one actually. I'm just going to do a search here. Imagesize.org. There we are. Enter that, and it should be. Oh, it's not the one. How about we do a search instead? I just checked this one out the other day. Some size. Oh, let's go .org on that one and see what happens. Image resize, pardon me, imageresize.org or imageresize.org. And what you can do with that one here is you can actually go into this website. So it's a free image resizing and reformatting website is what it is. So I've chosen that file. We go in. There's the file. You know, I can go down here and keep original size. I can change it. You know, go 75%. I can even crop the image to be different than I want or than I had here. Kind of cool there. Very cool. If you want, you know, we can rotate the whole thing and change how it actually looks. Mirror it. In this case, you don't see much of a difference because the pattern, it is a pattern, but that gives you an idea. You go through here, you can change that as a, you know, JPEG, PNG. JPEGs end up being compressed better, so they are smaller. If you can, I'll avoid using a PNG to do so. And that's pretty much it. Aspect ratio, you know, we can make sure it's a 1:1 so that it stays square. We can go, you know, no, I want this different, so we can actually change it to different aspect ratios. In this case, for the imagery on products, 1:1 is the best way of having. So I'm not going to do that right now, but that's a good site to use for these things. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the boot layer there too. So here we are back at our test one as we use. We're going to use this image. It is, as I said, a good size. Set the variation image. Bang, there it is right there. So it shows really nicely. Let's go back up here. We're going to close this one. We're going to open the next one. Here's our dark one. Let's go right to the image part. Okay, I'm going to go upload the new file. It's in that same folder. We're going to end up with the dark one. The dark one's now going to be uploaded pretty quick. Or fairly quick anyway. And there it is, and look at that. That's a decent size as well. A little bit bigger than the other one, but still way lower than what I was saying as far as 1 megabyte. Now, all the other settings are going to be the same in this case, but in this case, we're going to say that the dark one, for some reason, costs a little bit more. Okay, don't have to add the zeros here, by the way. Don't do. And we're going to scroll right down through here and add our description, and that's all set. And done. So that's our variations. Oh, sorry, wrong arrow to close. And close that thing so our variations are set. Till you click Save Changes, remember, none of that does get saved, so we got to do that. So I'm clicking the Save, and it's done. Those variations are now set. Just to show you that in the Advanced section that there are other purchase notes and stuff you can set for yourself. Okay, this helps again on the administrative side. Now lastly, before we finish this whole thing, we're going to scroll over to the right hand side and scroll down, and it has product image. You need to set a product image, okay, for what shows up for that image when you check the product. So I'm going to set this as being the dark one. Sorry, the light one. There it is, great. Now scroll down just a little bit further, we have the product gallery image. Click that. That's going to show the different variation pictures too. So I'm going to click and add that to the gallery. Don't need to add the light one, it's already there in place. Let's go to the one that we already pre-entered. Okay, there it is, that initial product image. We've shown this one here with the different pricing, so we can close that. Okay, so go scroll down here on this page. We can go down to, and you can see the product image on the right hand side. Go further down. We're going to skip the tags for a second. And the product gallery there, that's where it shows that the other ones, the alternate ones that are going to show up. Now how that looks on the page, of course, is, as we showed here previously, it shows you the different ones like this. You can actually click on each one and see what they look like right there. Not too bad. And there you can actually click on the image directly and go through a series of them right there too. Look at that. Kind of nice, kind of neat way of doing that. So, shows you how all of the product entry stuff is done. Now, the last thing to do is those tags. So we've got everything done on this one. We have all this information here. We have our products categories entered. We have the variations set for the products, the product themselves. Oh, we don't have a short description, and we don't have the tags, which are right down here. So let's show you that one. Back to the bottom of the previously entered one, here is our short description. The short description is the one that shows up right there at the top that gives just a quick overview so that people know. Those are some things that are important for the people who are ordering these things to go, okay, so this is for wall covering, got that, that's cool. It's a wallpaper site, it's kind of a given, but you know what? Good thing to have this stuff here. Wall covering type, they know that it's 100% just wallpaper, that there isn't any other elements and stuff in there. That can vary depending on what's being done. Care code, wipe. To me as a consumer, I want to know that. This is wipe clean, great. If it's going to take a whole bunch of specialty stuff, don't want it. Wall covering. So I'm going to leave this as is here, just because we'll say that this is the same kind of wallpaper in this case. Now I'll go over to the tags. Here's the tags here. Look at this. These are the different ones that they're going to help what this product is found at. So it's really simple to do. We just go to product tags, and we can say in this case, gray, light, dark. Each one is separated by a comma. Dark, I'm going to say wood because it has a potential wood pattern. I was going to say parquet. You could add that. You could add geometric in this case. Whatever it is that you want it. So click add. There's all those tags. So those will help it be found under that. And back to the keywords here. Let's take a look at this. Geometric is going to be one thing for this one here. It's going to be light. It's going to be dark. It's going to be gray. Oh, it might be a variation. Someone types it as in gray with an A and an E. It does happen. You can use those things, okay? Your call. In this particular case, because it shows a spelling error, I would say no, don't do that, okay? Wood pattern. That's good. Now let's do a quick overview before we save everything. Let's check this out. Okay, title's all good. Information that's going to be shown in the description, all good. Over here in the top right, page layout right sidebar, that's the default. We do want that. Again, let's go to the one that's already existing, because that shows over here the search for the products, the different categories, the recently viewed, and the calculator will show up there once we reactivate it. And then we go down here, it's selected to be in the different categories that we've chosen. It's a variable product. We've added the variables, first the attributes for those variables, and then the different variations with the different pricing. Scroll down here, we have the short description that shows up by the initial product. We have the initial product image, and scroll down further, we have all the tags, and we have the dark version that's going to be in that. I am now going to click publish on this one. Now here's something neat too. Just before we hit publish, notice over here on the right side it says publish immediately. If we edit that, if we don't want that to be published today because it's not quite available, but it's going to be published, let's say on my birthday, September 26th, we can actually type in the 26th. And it will not show up until the 26th at 12:38, which is really cool. Right now, though, we're not going to do that. We're going to just keep that the way it is, okay? So publish right away. Here we go. I click publish. It's now recording all this information into the database, so that's all going to be registered within that and connected to the whole WooCommerce or the whole e-commerce store that has been previously set up. We'll just wait for that to finish. There we go. And now that's all done, let's go to View Product and we're going to take a look and see what that looks like. There we go. Notice it shows a price range now. Why? Because we had the different prices for the different kinds. It's got that short description that we had there. It's got the light and the dark version. There we go. We click that. There's the dark version showing up. It's got a nice zoom to it so we can see the pattern. We can go like this and we can view the two different ones. Awesome. Now the one thing you might notice here too is when you see the variations, you can't go back to the light. Maybe you do want to add that to the gallery too, the light one as well, so you can go back and forth. Your call. Totally your call. There's your full description stuff there. And look at that. It's got related products. How are they related products? Well, my guess is that you've got some of the similar tags that have been used in that. Neat, eh? There's an RS, the RS one. Okay, that's got the geometric. It's got the gray. It's got that works. Yeah, this probably has gray in there too. This one has some of the similar to maybe light dark. But that's really neat, and that just lets people know that there's some other ones that are in there too. So that's the other reason you make sure that those things are in there. Also, these could be connected because of the categories. All right, good to have those to make sure you're selecting those things not just for people to find things, but to see comparable or similar ones that they might like as well. And that is the quick overview. What I'm going to do quickly right now, just for the sake of this particular demonstration, is going to go back into the website thing now. I'm going to go to list all the products. We're going to leave because we didn't want to save all this, did we? And we're going to check out all those products. We're going to remove the one we just created because obviously that's not needed in this case. We'll trash that one, get rid of it. But you notice the price is here now. That means that one's actually been solidified and was ready to be, and will show up on the website. Right now, if there's no price and everything in, that's been put in, they won't show up on the site. And there you go, it's been removed. Now one last thing, for this site specifically. If you've had to turn off a plugin because of it interfering with some things like we did for this one, we need to scroll down, go to plugins, click installed plugins, and reactivate that plugin. It can be more than one for that matter. We will help you troubleshoot that if that is an issue. So in this particular case, the Calculator Pro calculators is the plugin that was causing issues. So to start with, we deactivated that plugin. We click here to activate it. You watch what happens. It's now activated. Now if we go to the website, and there's the calculator there now popping up just below there, so that can now be used to help figure out some of this. So that's it. I hope you had fun with that and understand a little bit. If you have any questions, do send us an email, greg@theimagestop.com, or give us a call, 403-630-3409. That's the Image Stop, doing what we can to try and help you, because image is one thing and customer service is another, but overall it all goes together, and image is everything. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.